After Mac's words, all the brawlers left there. Only Feng was there. He was very angry and upset. The fighter had trained so much not to wait any longer. He was comforted by only one plan in his head, but so far he didn't want to resort to it. Tomorrow we have to announce when the final of the tournament will take place. Feng decided to wait. Edgar and Colette, in honor of the guy's victory, came to the restaurant to celebrate this event. Colette was very happy, and Edgar saw no point in celebrating something now. He still has to fight. Colette replied that she was sure of this victory, and it was already necessary to decide where they would spend $50,000. More precisely, 25, because Colette has already spent half of the money in her head. Therefore, Edgar has no choice. He must win this tournament. While the couple was celebrating the victory, Feng was lying at home in a bad mood. Yes, he surprised everyone with a victory with Frank, but he needs Edgar. The fighter is not interested in this money at all. He needs to win, because honor and dignity are above money. Therefore, he was looking forward to the next day with impatience. The morning of the next day has come. Feng was already running headlong to the Council of Brawlers to find out when the final would be. Arriving there and asking the long-awaited question, he was told that the tour will take place soon. Feng was immediately delighted, so either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, to which Grom replied that the tournament will take place next week. What? Why? The guy asked in a rude voice. Grom replied that it was impossible to hold the final so quickly. You need to warm up the audience and gather even more people in front of the TV screens. Just in the time before next week, there will be more winners. They also need to recoup this $50,000 in prize money. There can't be any others. Everything became clear to Feng. He didn't answer anything, because in his head, the guy already knew what he would do. Oh my god. What are you up to, Feng? A lonely Colette worked in a souvenir shop. Edgar is sleepy. He never gets up so early in the morning, and the girl had to work alone. Well, thank God there was no visit yet, and she could take a nap, when suddenly footsteps were heard. The first visitor! Colette straightened up and was about to serve a customer with a smile. When she was who it was, she was alarmed. Why did he come? It was Feng. Colette said that Edgar is not there, and in general he has nothing to do here. They will decide everything during the tournament. The guy was so calm. There was a silence. Colette was worried and asked Feng to leave the store immediately. What are you doing, Feng? Why did you stun her? So that was your plan. At this time, Edgar was sleeping sweetly at home. Even the fact that he sleeps in clothes doesn't help him get up early. The fighter still sleeps like a dead man. It took 30 minutes and Edgar finally opened his eyes. He needed to get up, but he was so lazy. He just wanted to lie and look at the ceiling, but he had to go to work to call it. He got up from his seat, stretched himself well, and wanted to have a cup of coffee. But Colette is probably sad alone at work right now, so he immediately headed to the store. When Edgar arrived at the place, he didn't see the girl. He said her name, but no one responded. The guy immediately got worried, because Colette never left the store empty and didn't leave. Something happened. But what? He went to the cash. It seemed nothing suspicious, but then he caught sight of a letter. Taking it in his hands, he began to read, and with each line his expression changed. Edgar flew into a rage. This freak Feng! How could he allow this? The fighter will kill him! Feng brought Colette to his home. Yes, of course he acted very cruelly, but Brawler wasn't going to use the girl anymore. she would stay here, and after all Feng would let her go. The guy left the house and went to the place he left in the letter. He waited for this for a very long time. When Byron stopped him on the way and asked where he was going so serious, Feng replied that he was training. He needed to prepare for the final. The old man praised him and said that he really wanted to see how he was training. Feng was not at a loss and replied that he liked to train alone. Feng left, but Byron suspected something was wrong. The guy was already very tense. Arriving at the place, Edgar was not there yet. Where is he? Feng sat down on the floor and began to meditate so that all the tension would go away. And then Edgar appeared in a numb state. God, I've never seen him so angry. He told Feng to tell him where Colette was right now, or he would kill him right there. Feng replied that he could forget the stab because the guy wouldn't get out of here. Edgar couldn't stand it. He attacked Feng. The crazy fight lasted for more than 2 hours. Neither of them had the strength. They both fell to the ground and could not even move a finger. Each fought for their values and for their truth, and each one stood up to the end. After this crazy fight, Feng realized one very important thing. This is that pride and the desire to be the first is absolutely not what should be in a person's heart, because the one who exalts himself will be humiliated, and the one who is humiliated will be exalted. Now Feng understood why he lost the first battle. He considered himself superior to everyone and was humiliated. Pride is one of the most terrible sins, but he's not like that anymore. The guy apologized to Edgar for everything and said that from today they are brothers. Edgar forgave him. It wasn't quiet there, but he also added that he hoped someone would find them. And so it happened. After an hour of searching, Byron found Feng and saw 2 beaten fighters. A week has passed since Feng and Edgar's fight. The final of the tournament didn't take place because of what happened. The participants refused to fight, but the money was still divided among all those who got to the final, and so everyone got $12,500. Colette had already bought everything with this money, well, in her thoughts, and now she doesn't have enough for everything. Edgar said that it was unnecessary to hurry, as Feng came here. Edgar happily came up to him and shook his hand. The guy asked what Colette was sad about. She said what was the matter, and Feng replied that he would give her all the money that was given to him. Colette jumped for joy. How did Feng change in such a short time? Thank God! May all sins stay away from you. Don't give in to them as Feng did. Live happily, be healthy, and let there be peace everywhere. Amen.